What's up? What's up? We are back with another edition of the No Huddle podcast. Me and CJ are here, and this has got to be one of the greatest ones we're gonna ever do. Probably one of our best shows we'll ever do. Maybe the next one might be better. I don't know. I think this is gonna be the best one, but we got a lot to talk about. A crazy game. We get all into that, man, because it was wild. It was wild. It started off kind of like really whatever, this game ain't that great. Then it started like what's going on, and then it was like, oh my god, what just happened? Like all in one. So we will get right into that soon, soon, soon. Before getting out of that, I'm gonna go ahead and start off the top and tell y'all, if you haven't, get that sponsorship. Don't get the sponsorship. Y'all got no YouTube channel, but get the SeatGeek app on your phone. Sign up. You get $20 off your first order if you use my code Third Coast Gaming. It's in the description, so it's right there. Use that code. You get $20 off your first order. And what they do, they take tickets from all over the web. They put them into one place. So you can see the seat. You can see where you're sitting at and everything. You see the best price or whatever, and you get $20 off if you order from me with my code. Um, there's a lot of other YouTubers that do kind of a lot of Madden YouTubers that I know that have sponsorship with us. So out of all my people that's with the SeatGeek family, who can I think? MMG, KKES, Throne, all these guys. I know y'all who the hell are these guys. Y'all don't know these guys, but anyway, use that code, man. They got games, football games, basketball games, concerts, all kind of any events. It's on there. It's probably on there. If you're looking for to go to an event anywhere in the world, it's there. Now, let's get into some other stuff. Got to update. Got to update. I got an update for you as I get me a message on my thing. It's not nothing. Okay. So, got an update. I told y'all last week I had a little dilemma. Well, now I got a dilemmas again, and I got it kind of it went good, but it didn't go good. So now, when I told you it's like four of them, it's kind of narrowed down to two, and now two know about each other, kind of what one and two want to do. If you know what I'm saying, I can't say stuff because YouTube will demonetize me. So you gotta talk in code. I know CJ knows the code because I've told him the code, so he already knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're not that code, not the SeatGeek code. But let's just say I was let me give you a song. What's that song with the dude that used to be all out? What was that song? There's like a song. It's like a blues song or something where the guy is he's in a room here and then he went to another room. What's that song? Something in the cheating in the next room or something like that or whatever. Is that the song? I'm a Rolling Stone, something like that. Anyway, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you this because you know what? I think both of them gonna be listening to this. I think, hey, so okay. That's I'm gonna tell you. I got a friend, right? I got a friend. This story about my friend. So we're gonna do it hypothetically, so this way they won't know anyway. So I got a friend, right, who said, no, somebody wanted to come see him. They was out of town. He was out of town. He wanted to come see him, right? But he was with somebody else, right? So he need to make he had his own spot out of town too, but he was with somebody else, right? So he needed to get to his spot and get the other person. So he left. He needed to, and remember they're all on the same floor, all on the same floor. So the person he was with ended up going somewhere, and he left and went back into his spot. And that person, the second person, came to the spot, and they came to the spot, and it got to a point where okay, it was some business transactions going down, but the card didn't get declined, but it kind of got how would happen with your card? The card only took half of the credit, right? So you know how you go to Walmart and they like your card only took like, let's say if it's $10, a $10 purchase, and so your card only took $5, so you still owe that. So the card got declined, or the card took half the spot, and the person had to go back into the went back, left that his spot, and went back to the other spot, and that person came back to the spot, and whatever. Y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but as y'all know what I'm talking about. But now next week the spot might it's going clear now, so this might be the best week for this guy this guy that I know. But anyway, shout out to everybody, man. We got I'm always thankful. We got a bunch of I've been on events. We started at the game, went to the Plies concert, and then we went to the after party. Now, so since we are talking about the Plies, I wanted to talk about what happened with cause I saw somebody that I knew there, and I wanted to share this story. Shout out to Baby Savage, because I was like, wow, why out of all people, Baby Savage came out. If y'all don't know who he is, he's a rapper. He promotes stuff. You see him with like Lil Flip. You see him with like Rick Ross. You see him with a bunch of different rappers. He can put shows on for like local artists and stuff. He knows how about businesses. He knows how about like you can buy anything you need to know about making money, how to start anything. Talk to this guy. Literally, he can help you get some money. He can help you get loans. He can help you do all kind of stuff. He like really smart. Like he's from Shreveport, right? So me, him, and my homie Jeremiah, who I work with, we was going down to a show in Houston, and we ended up riding on his tour bus, and he had a flat, and it was kind of rainy and muddy that day, and the wheel got into the side of the pavement where he pulled over to the side, and it got stuck. So we're sitting there stuck trying to push this truck out, and nothing's working. So this is like 5 o'clock. This happened like 5. It's daytime, literally daytime, and so we end up sitting there still. And so he's like, "Well, let me go." Some people started coming by trying to help, but most of them wanted money because they seen the picture on the side. He's like, "This guy must got some money or something." So he's like, "Nah, we good." So we kept trying. He kept trying to start. We out here pushing this big ass van. Me and Jeremiah in the back pushing this big tour bus looking thing. And it's like kind of like a Winnebago type thing, but it's big. And we sitting there like, me and him like, man, this not finna work, man. Sad, this is not finna work. So some kind of way he got his. We wasn't far from Shreveport. We was like in Carthage. He was in Carthage. Shout out to Carthage. So we was like right there in Carthage, and on the highway, I think it was 59, 80, whatever that highway is, 79. But we was there, so his girl, whoever someone he knew he could come from Shreveport to get in the car. He was gonna come back and get his truck and try to pull us out or something like that. So he does that, goes back, and we still don't get it. Still doesn't get out. It still doesn't work. So he leaves again, and we're sitting there on the road till about 12, 11, 10, maybe 10. No, it was about 9, 10 o'clock. We finally sit on the road, and this truck from a Ford truck came out of nowhere and ended up helping us out and pulling us out. And then we had to sit at a gas station. He went back to Shreveport to take the old girl back or whatever. And we sat there. Me and Jeremiah sat in the truck for like 2-3 hours. Mosquitoes all over us, man. We sitting there. And we finally made it to Houston, and we ended up going to the show we were supposed to be at. Charlie Boy was there, Lil O, Slim Thug, ESG, all these people, all these rappers, all these rappers I looked up to that knew Sav, and we was all talking to them and something, chilling. So that's something that happened, man. That was the craziest story ever crazy day. I thought I was never coming home. But with all that said, man, we got to get into this game, man. I tried to gather my thoughts on this because I'm gonna be all over the place on this game because I gotta figure out. This game was like a movie that you had to watch, and the script was really like, you were like, who wrote this script to this movie? This movie was all over the place. Okay. So, John Tyler, Robbie Lee. So first off, I'm gonna tell you this. This John Tyler team, defensively, they might be their weakest point spot right now. Because I can see the defensive line is not that big. There's some small guys. I'm looking at like these guys are kind of small, and you can tell they're getting manhandled in the run up the middle. And a lot of these JT teams used to have the same problem with stopping the run, but they did have some guy like I missed the days when they had those two dominant defensive tackles. Was it Braylon Jones and Pierre Leonard? Yeah, those two clogging up the middle. Man, you couldn't run on those two. Like those were the days. Oh, and then Bowser, Titus Bowser, guys like that. You know, you don't got one of those right now. At least nobody has showed to be that guy. But so the team defensively, they just look like they would. And one thing is, the people always say coaching, coaching. One guy was on the forum says like there's a lack of leadership on the team. Nobody's holding anybody accountable, and he's like it's not coaches' fault, but the players need to hold each other accountable, and they're like there needs to be some leadership on that offense and defense, quarterback, whoever. You got to be some leadership on there, like and that I think that's a good point. So with all that being said, we get to the game, and I'm thinking that I'm going to I think it's gonna be a pretty good game. I think I'm picking JT to probably win easily because I wasn't impressed with JT with Lee's offense, and we figured out their quarterback can't throw to save his life. So well, I was like, yeah, this might be right up their alley. They can just force this guy to try to throw and make him throw picks. So JT got off hot. Start off what 13-0. The what's it? Jabraylon Williams. He was came back the quarterback, and he did a few good things, but the offense still wasn't just moving the way they moved. Like they got all those weapons, but it seems like they just don't really get the ball to their playmakers as much, like McFall and stuff. Like it just seemed like the offense needs to be. They need to go through a different scheme of offense because I don't think they got the quarterback to run that type of offense they want to run the spread. Besides, where we got except Tyler Jones, but we're getting him in. I'm gonna get into him in a second. So they up. You know they get the pick six, the make pick six to from the field goal, the block field goal, or whatever it was, the fake field goal. So that was good. And then they got the touchdown. But it still didn't seem like the offense was moving. So you was like, okay, they good, but they really just wasn't moving the ball like they should. So they do that, but Lee did come back down and get 3 points. And then they end up fighting back and getting 10, getting a touchdown. And then fumbles happen all over the place. I don't remember all the fumbles. I think it was about 20 fumbles. JT just couldn't hold on to the ball. Lee couldn't field the kickoffs, and JT team just couldn't hold on to the ball, and they just kept fumble, turnover, and that kept Lee in the game. And Lee came back and got the 10, and then they cut it to did they kick the field goal or did they kick the touchdown to bring 17-13? I believe they got the touchdown before halftime. I believe Lee took the lead or something, or they tied the game up with a field goal or something like that. And then JT came back in the second half. Looked like it was going to pull away the win because it was 26-17 at one point. And I'm like, okay, they just needed to get a good one more score. It's pretty much over. But like I said, fumbles and interceptions and stuff was causing the game, and that's when Tyler Jones started coming in. And Tyler Jones came in, and then once again he threw another interception. But I don't think it was his fault. Some of those, I say a few of those wasn't his fault. One of the players with the receiver was just standing there. He didn't really. He should have came to the. He should have came to the ball. He just stood there and waited for it. He should have just tried to run to it and get it. So but Tyler Jones comes in. He does give a little spark, but he's got the running ability, but he doesn't want to run. He's doing the same thing he was doing in Chapel Hill, where and hopefully he's listening, or his parent, anybody that knows him, because I like Tyler Jones because I came from Chapel Hill, and so I'm a Chapel Hill alumni, so shout out to Chapel Hill. Speaking of them, I didn't get y'all up there, and they lost to Van like 24-17, so they're 0-2, but I think they're gonna be all right. Well, it's kind of shocking, yeah, because they got that team, that freshman quarterback and that freshman running back who's juniors, well sophomores now, and you think, oh, they should just be more rolling over, but I think they'll be all right when district start. But anyway, so Tyler Jones came in, transferred to JT. We all remember he left after the Lindale game. I don't know what the stuff about it, but what he can run, but he doesn't want to run. He's trying to buy time to throw the ball still. which is still good, but he makes the bad. He's making his decision making. What the guy said on the forum is, he's got the he can play, he can run the offense, but his decision making is not the best because he'll make he'll throw a few interceptions here and there that you're like, what is he doing? But he does. He can make the throw. He can throw deep. You see, he threw a nice deep ball to I'm finna say Street because I saw them thing, but Lacey. This guy Lacey is like turning into like he's turning into like the star receiver. This Lacey guy is I'm really liking because last year wasn't he the one that kept dropping the ball? Last year, Lacey, I remember he was dropping, had a lot of drops last year or something like that. I remember saying his name a lot last year, but not the good way. Yeah. So Lacey is like really turning into that guy. Wade is still the dude too, but both of them, like, you got these good receivers, and you get them the ball. It's like it's crazy. It's gonna be like wow. So they get that going on. Tyler Jones is getting them a little spark, but Lee keeps coming in and coming fighting back. They turn over the ball. All these turnovers keep Lee in the game, but they cut the lead, and they finally tied up. And then it happened. The overtime happened. And this was probably the weirdest overtime I've ever seen in my life. The weirdest game. This game started off like it's going to be a snooze fest, and then it ended up being like an instant classic and a win. Like, and I still don't know. I don't know how to say if they lost or not. The way, because it's the way they lost. It's like you shouldn't lose. It seems like the way they lost was like, here. If y'all can't score right here, then we finna just leave. If y'all can't score right here on the 1 yard line, the game is over or something. They did seem like they were like, here, somebody score, please, so we can get out of here. And I'm pretty sure we seen some of them refs might have been at Plies concert. They might have been at the Sensations. They might be at Sensation tonight. Some of the coaches might be at the party tonight. But cause it had to be stressful. So JT get the ball, and what they do? They fumble. They fumble the ball. I think it was the first play of the game too. I think McFall took a play and fumbled or something like that. Yeah, but I know the first. So maybe I get my timeline now. The first overtime, JT had the ball first. They didn't convert, so Lee could have literally just kicked the field goal right and won the game. But they did not do that. They kept trying to go. They kept going downfield. First down, second down, third down. Fourth down, I think, okay, the game over. And the coaches send them out and run a play. And they run a play, like literally kick the field goal because the game is over. JT didn't score. And this guy runs around and he throws a pick. And the lead quarterback, this guy's jukes looked so weird. How was they getting faked out by this? He would like move his neck, like looked like he was gonna break his ACL while he was juking and stuff. I'm like, how is this guy doing this? And how are they faking his? He just running past guys like it ain't nothing. Like, I was like, wow. But the dude cannot. He couldn't. He made like 2 throws that was like downfield. It was good, but he really was not a thrower. And Longview is gonna probably put 100 points up on these guys. But he threw the pick. Second overtime came around. Okay, I said, oh, so JT can win this game. No, they turn over again. They do something, and Lee gets the ball. And so we like, okay, now it's really over. Because they got a kicker. But what happens? They block the kick. I like, okay, JT's definitely going to win this game. No. Now they put the ball, and they move the ball and put it on the, 2-yard line. And then they get a penalty. JT gets the penalty, so they move the ball up again. Lee ends up not converting. JT gets the ball, and I remember this one. It was a fumble. It was a fumble, straight up fumble. Hold on, they got to practice hold on to the ball because they have no idea. Their hands, the JT's team, their hands are like they're made for decorations. Are they got Butterfinger? What are they? Why? What are they? Did they need gloves? Or what are they? Did they got are they up there on the sideline eating candy, ice cream, or something? But this hard. They can't hold on to the ball. You can't fumble this many times. So that happens, and then the last one finally happens. Lee finally runs it in. I believe they ran it in and wins the game in dramatic fashion. It was like Lee jumped out of child high. They should have really beat these guys by multiple touchdowns, but they ended up not finishing the job. Let them come back. Just like how they let Highland Park come back when they had them up and they was up a few touchdowns. They did the same thing in this game, and now Lee is won 3 straight, and they've tied the series. Now this is one of those guys. I think we ain't seen a 90 halftime overtime game like this since like the '98 game. I think it was '98 or '97. I believe Von G on the forum it said it. But yeah. And with all that said, everybody's paying like, well, they're going through it like I don't. A lot of people saying, well, I don't see where this team can win a game on this upcoming series. They're already giving Lancaster and Longview wins the way that they're playing. But I'm thinking, okay, we've seen this happen. We've seen teams like this, so I'm not really too skeptical and like, okay, oh yeah, this team's not going to win them. By the time this to come around, they will be getting together. And I like Tyler Jones. I really think they should stick with Tyler Jones at this point. Let the sophomore learn. He's going to be back next year. So let him play behind him and just be like, okay. Or just use both. Well, no, don't use, but you could use like a package to have like Tyler Jones in, so like a running type package. Or like, he's an athlete too. He can run and everything. He can throw. He can throw as well. But I just believe he's more fit to run his offense than Jaraylin Williams is. So I would, if my decision, I would go back with Tyler Jones. He did put a spark and almost brought him back to win the game. I almost won the game for him a few times. He just they got I think they got to get another offensive scheme inside the 20. That spread and all that like it's like what stuff Marshall was running, something like that. Like maybe it could they got the big enough line to run it, or me. I don't know what it is, but they could run an offense like that and probably be successful. I think. But that's what I believe. That's what it is, man. It's a wild game. Then we went to the Plies concert. If you was there, if y'all was anybody else was there, if y'all at the show, you would have seen Plies. You seen me I was up there. Me and CJ were like literally right behind them on stage. So if you seen CJ, you seen me. And then the cops shut down the after party, which was kind of weird because there wasn't no fights or nothing. They just said, "Hey, y'all got to go." But it came. A few people showed up, but then it had to be shut down. But with all that being said, man, we probably got some more stuff to talk about in a minute. But we're gonna let CJ get on here and tell you his thoughts and everything, and we're gonna be back in a minute. Hell, I'll probably be back in a few too. With something else I gotta say.
Listen up, we got some things to say. Yeah. Wow. This recap, where can you start? I think you can tell. I mean, Rob basically said, he didn't know where to start, right? So, man, I don't know. As I think back about this game, you can undress it so many ways. Me and Rob mentioned this right after the game. There's so many layers you can go into this game. Usually you talk about that when you talk about a classic game. It's when you call it a classic just because it went to 4 overtime. Sometimes, like, if somebody told you, hey, Tyler Legacy, man, they went to 4 overtimes. You was like, oh, damn, for real? You would think it is one of the greatest games ever in the rivalry. Can I say that? I don't know. Because I think it's because how it happened. There's just so many things to wrap your head around. One main thing is the turnovers, which I'm gonna go over in just a minute. Rob briefly mentioned about the turnovers, but it was a lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda, mainly on Tyler High's end. It ain't just because of them losing the ball game, it's coulda, woulda, shoulda here, coulda, woulda, shoulda there. Could have put the game away a long time ago. Yada yada yada. It's just what it is, and I think any Tyler Legacy fan, if they was being honest, just being honest about the game, because ultimately that's just what you have to do. You, all you can say is, this game really should have been over a long time ago. But it was a lot of undisciplinary football going on. Of course, there were some penalties you think shouldn't have been called, and then you see things happening for Legacy. Oh, that should have been called. That holding should have been called. I think I saw a blatant pass interference called that should have been called on one of the pass plays to Lacey. Cornerback got pretty physical with the ball in the air, and I know some people might think I'm biased by that, but I just call what I see. I just call what I know, and it is what it is. And I put it in the perspective of, well, I see this call being called for Legacy. I see this call being called for Legacy. And let me put this into perspective before I get into all this. I know with this rivalry game, a lot of people know what comes with it. One group of fans is gonna say the refs are cheating for the other team. That's just how it's always been. That's gonna be the whole philosophy of it, which some of it can be misleading because this can go back and forth until the cows come home, until the end of time, because this is a rivalry game. Nevertheless, this game is always about bragging rights. So each team always wants the advantage. Sometimes Legacy got the better team. Sometimes Tyler Hodley and John Tyler got the better team. And let's just be honest. Sometimes the better team don't even win this ball game. I'm just gonna keep it honest, because that's one perspective I was gonna bring up. I've seen numerous games, and I'm being dead ass honest on this. I've seen numerous games where Lee was clearly not the better team, but they won the ball game. It's only one. Hey, it's just like the Super Bowl. All you gotta do is win one game. This ain't like NBA where you gotta win the first team to win 4 games. You know what I'm saying? Eli Manning, he only had to beat Tom Brady one time. He actually beat him twice because they played in 2 Super Bowls. But all you gotta do is win a 60-minute game. I just gotta beat the undefeated Patriots one game. That's it. That's all. We don't even think about the team because they didn't complete the undefeated season. One game. Like one of my favorite quotes, because you can apply it to life. I think I have it saved on my YouTube list. It's either on the videos or favorites, but I got it handy just in case I have to remind. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might be talking with somebody or something come up, and you even have to remind yourself. Man, it don't matter if somebody something if something happened if something happened 100 times, right? A team so and so beat so and so 99 times out of 100. There always leaves that one time, right? That one time. So, but that's just the thing about football, man. That's why upsets happen. You got college football just kicking off. I done seen many. I think about Appalachian State beating Michigan. I still remember that game. I still remember turning on, and that was just the thing. That was just the thing. That was all over TV. They beat it was one game, one time, and it can happen. Now, you ain't seeing it happen to Alabama unless they getting beat they lose in the college football playoff, or they lost in the regular season to a Johnny Manziel and Texas A&M. But dominant teams, it happens less to real dominant teams, but it's football. It can happen. it's even happened in March Madness because it's one game. That's why it's called March Madness because anybody can get upset. And I've seen it so many times, and it's just what it is. And it's just bound to happen. A lot of times in college basketball more than anything. But back to this game. I see I unraveled that in some levels, but of course, just getting to it. Tyler High started off with the momentum. I mean, the pick six, making it 13-0, and looked like Tyler High was well on their way to blowing this game wide open. But I had this thought in my head, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. In the back of, I mean, it's like a script you write, right? So because I done seen it many times where, man, Tyler High got the momentum. It's early. It could be first or second quarter, but I'm like, all it takes is a turnover or a couple stall drives. League get a little momentum, one or two mistakes. Next thing you know, what should be a 3-touchdown game is Lee or Legacy down by 3 points. Okay. Now and then they'll steal the momentum and Tyler High or John Tyler at the time they sputter. And so when you stop making plays, Lee or Legacy starts making plays in that momentum. And the thing about it is they stay disciplined about it. And then comes the quote unquote cheating where you don't get the calls you think you should have got. And the calls go in Legacy's favor. You know what I'm saying? That's why it seems like the game is left on the table for Legacy to take. But it goes back to the old. Y'all done heard me say this on plenty of episodes. I would say cut the head of the snake, but you gotta. I don't really want to say it like this, but you know, sometimes you put the team out of its misery if it seems like if it seems like they're a team that is compromised in a lot of ways, and I feel like Lee and Legacy in a way is compromised because the offense doesn't scare you, and the defense, it's sound. I feel like going in this game, I feel like okay, Tyler High can have some success passing the football against him, but I have to, and I know the line is stout. I only know about the one guy because I got a chance to look at it Friday night. Jordan Renaud, hey, very impressive. I was glad I got to see him. Big dude. I wouldn't want to get hit by him. I promise you. I saw some plays where he's just laying the wood, and he works his ass off getting off the line. He's playing possessed, but he's playing he's playing to his ability, and that's why he's got these offers, and he's gonna go to a major school if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you gotta account for number 9. You gotta slide some protection. You gotta hey, you gonna have to account for number 9 for Legacy on that D line. But like I said, what was going through my mind second quarter, game was left on the table. Next thing you know, it's 17-13. Tyler High still got the lead, but you gotta get some over. You should it should have already been at least 20-3, 27-3, 27-10. Stuff, and I was telling Rob, look, they gotta put. Not only do they gotta put a drive together, I'm ready to see a drive get put together, especially when Tyler Jones was in there, and I got to see him. I was like, okay, because when he came in, he only got like one play. I think it was like a third and like 13. It was like third and long. Jabraylin had got hurt, and so I was like, okay, we're going to get this. If they leave, because I don't know the extent of the injury at this time, so I'm like, Tyler Jones, he needs a whole series. He needs a whole series. So we saw him with a whole series, and we saw what he can do. It took a little while because you saw the bad interception he threw. I was like, okay, hopefully he shakes that off. Shake that off. Let's see what we can do. You know he can obviously move. You know he can obviously run. Okay, let's see if he can make the throws. He made some throws on the run. Got it to the playmaker. What a catch by Jabraylin Lacey on that touchdown. And then I believe it was the third quarter. I know it was in the second half where he got the touchdown to Montreal Wade. I could tell he was like, finally. And by the way, I'm gonna say my thoughts when I'm finna close this out about what I know they should do and what they should have did. Obviously, in this football game against Legacy because it was all on the table. But like I said, leaving. I've seen it so many times with Tyler High leaving this game for the Pickens and Legacy. I mean, no Miller, no. I don't want to keep bringing up the past, but no Miller, no Bryson Donnell. I was ready to see what their run game was like. Sterling was running the ball hard, but you can't. You just can't. It's just certain offenses. You just have to do better on both sides of the football because that game was for the pick. Like it was just discipline. You have to fight through the penalties. I think Tyler Hyde they end up having 15 penalties for 134 yards. Now, of course, you could say some of them was bogus, but this game tests your discipline because you're already at high spirits and high emotion because you're playing a crosstown rival. That's how it's gonna be, and that can go for you or it can go against you. And I've seen it both ways. And it's a lot of times where Legacy/Lee has used it to their advantage because one team is more disciplined than the other one, and it damn sure don't make them better. It's more disciplined because sometimes a team that's not better than you can beat you because they're more disciplined. It's just like a fight. Anybody can get knocked out. UFC, boxing, all it takes is one mistake. Well, like in them, like with a fight, all it takes is one mistake. Even though game is about inches, and I believe this game was about inches also, and it's just so many layers to this that we can unravel. But the turnovers, Rob mentioned that it was 13 combined turnovers. Now it was more turnovers than a Collins Street bakery. I thought they had a bakery across the street somewhere. It was, you know, I was like, Legacy got a sweet tooth tonight. So Tyler High need to take this game. Because, I mean, like I said, no disrespect. I know Legacy got some athletes, but Tyler High got athletes all over the field. They got to get these playmakers the ball more. I was going to address that in a minute. They got to get these playmakers the ball more because this game should have been blown wide open. Stall drives. Also, bad decision making. The play calling was questionable. I'm gonna just leave it at that. That affects the flow of the game, the play calling, because it sputters the offense. And it happened in overtime too. I believe the choice of when it was when McFall fumbled the football, took the direct snap. Like I was telling Rob, don't get cute. Just line up and run the football. Even though you're trying to get you're trying to get the ball in the hands of your playmaker. Give him some space so he can, do his thing. / find a crease. That's some of the stuff you should have been doing early in the game more often. And it might have been the difference in you having 14 more points and you wouldn't even have to go to overtime. Because the game probably should have been over in the third quarter because Lee's offense is not explosive. And I'm just being honest about it. But when you let them hang around, I've seen this story too many times. It's like this story was written. Not as many turnovers, though. But let's leave this game. And then once you start getting the third quarter and head to the fourth, that led up to the 27-24 game. I knew when there was 5 minutes left, okay, offense stalls for Tyler High. Tyler Legacy get the football. And then they have the chance to kick the field goal because their field goal kicker he could kick from a good distance. So that's what it is. And he kicks the field goal. 4 seconds left. Ties the ball game. You head to overtime. And that's what it is. So, but like I said, you can really unravel this in so many ways. And I was gonna say about the turnovers, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Willis for Legacy had them up at the practice field Saturday morning, working on ball security, especially the special teams. But I wouldn't have been surprised. But hey, he's 3-0 against Tyler Haas, has taken over as the head coach for Legacy, and they get their first win of the season, and Tyler Haas goes to 0-2. But I'm gonna go over some stats and then final thoughts on that. Before I go on the stats real quick, I'm gonna reiterate what I was looking for in this game because the game has actually happened, and you gotta talk about what I was mainly looking for was this week. How was Tyler High's line going? How was the D line? How were they gonna respond to Legacy's run offense? How is the run defense gonna show up this week? Right. Like I said, I saw them. I don't think it wasn't bad as when they played Marshall, but of course I was seeing. I don't know if they're getting blown off the line. I feel like Legacy a lot of time they were getting a good push, and it was just I don't know. It's hard to explain. Something it just because Legacy they end up having 181 yards rushing, 278 total yards. I mean the passing game was anemic. Rob mentioned his thoughts about the quarterback, but he could move. Luke Wolf can move, and I was saying late in the game you got to get a spy on him because you know Luke Wolf, he was, you got to hunt the wolf, right? So, I ain't gonna get into that Denzel quote, but anyway, yeah. But I don't think they run as much misdirection as they used to. But they would do the one where they send I don't know if it's the slot guy, one of the receivers in motion. All it takes is that receiver going in motion, get those linebackers, etc., eyes in the flat, and then they run the zone read right up the gut, get about 4 to 6 yards a pop, something like that. So sometimes it's little things. Sometimes it's your mindset and the discipline. That's what it's about on defense. And I'm glad Rob said what he said because my mentality is, yeah, coach is coach, but players got to play. This has been my players got to play. Bottom line. Bottom line. Because I know some great coaches that done coach some stuff, but the players they still got to play. The coach can't go out there and make the play, you know what I'm saying? That's just, parents, hey, I know I know some kids that done made some bad decisions in life, and I know the parenting was good. But people make their own decisions. That's the moral of their so you have to play, right? That's just players gotta play. But back on Tyler Hyde's stats, 220 yards total, 27 yards rushing, 193 yards passing. Yeah. But the thing about the rushing, it's only 27 yard rushing, and even I think some fans was mentioning this around us, but I'm not saying it because they said it. I'm just saying it because I watched the football game, of course. Yeah, they have to. That's gonna be one of my points about what they should do. And you got a game next week against a team that's 2-0, and you 0-2. I'll get in that in a second, but you got to run the ball more. I feel like they should have ran the ball more, controlled the game more, because McFall and the touches McFall got, he was running hard. I was very impressed with how hard he was running. Of course, it's McFall, ball with McFall. We ready to say ball with McFall more, and it's only 2 games, but we ready to say it more. You got to get this man the damn football. Like, it was a drought going on during that game. You got to get him the football. I don't know, something's going on with the play calling. When you do it, how you do it, okay? That's the bottom line. When you do it, how you do it. But anyways, now we're headed out to the next game. Tyler High, they got to travel to Mesquite to take on Mesquite Horn. Mesquite Horn is 2-0 right now. So maybe this one of them Mesquite Horns team that's going to be pretty good this year. You never know what you're going to get out of Mesquite Horn. I know, growing up, they would be good. Last few years, I don't think they've been good as they used to be, but you never know. They could be good this year, bad next year. Next year, they back respectable. So I don't know. You just have to pay attention to them. But Overall thoughts, man. My last thoughts on this, on Tyler Hyde. What I think they should really do is make them better. They got the playmakers. That's what's frustrating. They got the playmakers. Montrell Wade, he got to have more targets. You got to get when he caught that touchdown pass. I think about a receiver. When you go a while without throwing the ball to a receiver, they gonna get frustrated. Okay, this is all levels, especially when they know they know they that dude, right? He know he that dude. He confident. I saw it from the jump, and then next thing you know, he getting these D1 offers, and he committed to a D1 school right now. So more targets to Wade. It just needs to be a more balanced attack. More because I know it's hard when you got playmakers, so many playmakers. Jabraylon Lacey, he shows you once again what he can do. I done seen flashes. I was like, man, this guy gonna be something. Got to get these balls. It was some one-on-ones. They could have got the ball to him. That could have been one or two more touchdowns right there. Sometimes, but then like I say, it's frustrating. Like I said, this game you can unravel this game in so many ways. If you're a Tyler High fan, it just frustrates you in a way because coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah, it's good that you did that, but you should have did that 2 quarters ago. Start doing that 2 quarters ago. That's just what it is. But as the season goes on, it's still very early. They're gonna find out. I mean, but you like I said, you got some good teams coming up, so uh, you got some time before you face Longview and the Lancaster. But hey, let's see. Crazy game, 4 overtimes. Probably one of the craziest Tyler Hyde JT Lee games I ever seen. So for so many reasons, and it's probably most stuff we can get into. But Rob briefly mentioned, I'll give my shout out. Hey, had the Plies concert. Man, hey, shout out to all the lovely people that came out. Shout out to everybody that bought a ticket and showed up, man. For real. I even give a few shout outs. I got a couple birthday shout outs. Shout out to my longtime homie, man. I've been knowing this person this ain't like down there all my life. Shout out to Miss Angela Medlock. She always brings the swag, the vibe, all out, all that. So shout out to you, homie. Shout out to one of the best artists around. He just had a birthday, Antonio Paola. Look, y'all do this though. Y'all go to YouTube and search Antonio Paola, Payola. He got some music, man. He just got a lot of. He just one of the most talented artists it is. It's just what it is, though. So, also, people that was at the Plies concert. Shout out to my homie showing love, Miss Sky Singleton. Sky Singleton making big moves. Been on the front page of the newspaper. Got the kicks, all that. Sky Singleton. Go to her Facebook and just check out all she got going on. Because I can't get into all that. You just got to have eyes. That's all I can tell you. Shout out to my fellow Pisces, Miss Julie Gordy. Every time she step out, she bring the swag. She had the environment stunned because that's just how much sauce she she had so much sauce on it. Shout out to Miss Terry Lacey who came out. Good seeing you. Hey, you stole the show, by the way. Also, shout out to Miss Brittany Stanton doing a thing on stage. Brittany, I admired this woman for years because I knew what people know now. She just, the way she talks, the way she carries herself, the knowledge. Of course, she got the glam. Of course, she got the swag. It's just all that, man. You don't meet people like that every day. So just appreciate what God has created, you know what I'm saying? And also, more, of course, overall, shout out to the whole Justice League. You know, all y'all that's involved. Everybody that was involved at the party, the promoting, the marketing, just all the work. It's a true grind going on behind the scenes, and everybody got eyes and ears. And just shout out to the whole team, man. And shout out to all the Virgos that's going to do their thing. Empire, all that. Just the whole month. Also, I wanted to say this before I pass it back off to Rob. Man, we ain't asking for too much, man. We appreciate, hey, when y'all listen to this, drop a comment what y'all think about anything we said. A comment, just on the game. You can even promote. Hey, you want to promote what you do, your business? Drop a comment in the comment section on the YouTube page. We'll see it. We'll appreciate it. Don't be too quiet. You know what I'm saying? Anything, any opinion you have, just show love, and we'll appreciate that. Hey, we'll show hella love back. You know what I'm saying? We might not even know you. We might, just make it known. You know what I'm saying? But I know I done rambled on. But like I said, because this game, you can just unravel in so many ways. We gonna talk our mess and talk what we know, talk what we see, talk what we think. That's just what it is. But everybody have a blessed Labor Day weekend and be safe. And we hope to be talking about a dub when we get back on this thing next weekend. Holla back.
Alright, this nigga right here that I'm watching is wild for this damn Sasha Banks interest. You know this nigga that be doing the WWE interest. The dude be doing this nigga wrote did. He doing
Yeah, I seen that. Like,
what the hell he doing just like she do it? What the hell? Okay. I said something on my show. I don't know. I was on my Madden video right there and I said the N word. Well, not N word. Like I said nigga instead of nigga. I said nigger. Like I don't know why it came out like for like a split second I was racist. I don't know how. Like I've never just said it like that. It is. I turned into like a redneck white guy. Damn, I'm gonna get demonetized for saying that. No, I don't know what happened. But it just came out like it said nigger. I was like, I don't know what the hell happened. It was just so funny to me. But I want to shout out to the Virgos. I know a few. So shout out to Natasha Renee. I want you to listen to this because you don't be having time sometimes, but I'm gonna shout you out. I know you probably listen to a few stuff, but shout out to you because you was you started talking to me when I was on my down on my down moments. I lay y'all remember. I'm not gonna even go back and tell y'all about that. Y'all know. Shout out to everybody who reached out that day. But shout out to her. She's the birthday. So I guess I'll be seeing you tonight. Shout out to my friend. She might be mad at me, but hopefully I'm gonna let us hear this. Shout out to my friend Whitney Thurman. She's a former coworker of mine, a friend there. So it's her birthday tomorrow. So everybody wish her happy birthday because it's tomorrow. And I ain't forgot about you. So I know I'm gonna send this clip to you just so you can listen. And I put you on YouTube. I'm gonna even do this. Let me get on my Instagram right quick. I'm gonna even do this for her. Where the hell is she at? Okay, here we go. Let me load it up. My phone shit. Okay, so her birthday is tomorrow. And if y'all, her name is Thurman Whitney. Thurman with WA6 on Instagram, but Whitney Thurman, THURMONDL. If y'all wanna help her out, Sister Cat, she's a real nice person. She got a cash up here. Cash up. Whitney, you know how to spell Whitney and Thurman. THURMOND86 with the dollar sign in the front. Yeah. If you feel free, go ahead and send her something. And that's what it is, man. Y'all know Rob me like me. I don't really be nice like that. So if I do that, it's really somebody. They must really be a good person. So, that's what it is, man. Shout out to everybody at the show. Like I said, we gotta get out of here. It's another busy night right now. I haven't had a chance to even focus on my Madden. I'm gonna probably do some Madden tomorrow. My Madden videos I gotta put out. So as you know, it's a lot of work. This YouTube stuff you see me doing this, you think it's just put the no? It's a lot of stuff, a lot of work, and it's paying off now. So, but that's what it is, man. We out here. We already running over time. Because we got to run out and go somewhere else. But till then, man, peace. All right, I'm going to have another update for y'all this week. Please be sure to tune in. Because I'm going to have a great update on something on my friend's situation. My friend's situation. See how I said that? See that? My friend. So they don't know what I'm talking about. They think I'm talking about somebody else. Well, we out here, man.